So next sort of follows on from the corporate values video. We're talking about corporate culture. And that's something that I remember learning about in my first year. And we were talking about how IBM used to be a very sort of straight down the line kind of suit and tie, black suit, black tie or blue tie, I can't remember, white shirt. Like if you didn't rock up in a white shirt, you weren't part of the culture. It was all straight white males. Like it was very stereotypical. And that's kind of how I always thought about culture. Well, at least in the workplace. I knew about travel culture, but corporate culture is really different in that sense. And then I walked into this organisation and I felt so at home from the get-go. The way that I've had discussions about this is that they didn't try hard to build a culture, they got lucky. The mix of people and personalities is something that I can only hope to have in every job that I have. I sort of consider them like family. There are parental figures, and then you've got the wacky older siblings and then the cheeky ones, and the mix of people and the banter that occurs in the office is awesome. And that was really something that I kind of spent my first couple of weeks trying to adjust to, getting to know everyone, walking in and meeting 15 new people. Thankfully it wasn't anymore, but getting to know them and sort of the ins and outs of them was really, really challenging. And then figuring out where you fitted into that culture. And something that really struck me when I first started was getting added to a WhatsApp group for the entire office. It's something that a lot of my friends here still can't get over. Is the fact that we spend 5 days a week together, 8:30 to 6, most of the time longer than that. We go out for lunch together. We then also spend most of our weekends talking to each other. It's something that I haven't really observed much. Obviously, I haven't worked that much in an office before, but you don't. I know, like, my mum's had a couple of close friends from work, but the entire office doesn't talk to each other. You spend most of your weekend just getting messages from people that you see 5 days a week, and it could be considered overkill, but it's fantastic. It builds sort of this camaraderie between everyone. Someone goes on holiday and you get some of their holiday snaps. Everyone's in the office and someone's on the beach drinking a cocktail. And it's fantastic. I really have enjoyed it. They thrive on being sociable, going out and bonding outside of client work. Not everything is about the client. During the day it is, but you spend that much time together, you might as well get to know everyone. I think that's something that I really cherish as part of this job, is the fact that you can spend time with people that you see every day and not have to talk about work. I remember my first work drinks. It was probably like a week after I got there. And, we were just talking about travel and everyone was giving me travel tips. You're here for a year. Let's see how many countries we can get you to. You can talk about anything. And I think it was really important for me to learn that, it's not all work. It can be a little bit of play with work people. And that attitude change that I've had over the past 4 months has been sort of difficult to shift my focus, and sort of you almost forget sometimes that you do work with them. We can be chatting in the office and it sort of feels as though you're hanging out with friends, and then you realise that you're sitting in the office, you're meant to be working, but you have these little breaks where you're kind of like, I I don't feel as though I'm at work right now, and that's fantastic. Sort of having those little mini pauses. Um, Generally, when one of the MDs comes in, wreaks havoc, and then walks out, it just allows you to refocus again, and it's valuable. And again, similar to storytelling, I didn't think I was going to learn anything about corporate culture, and it's something that I focused on in my learning goals. I really wanted to indulge in it, particularly because I was moving over and I didn't know anyone. I wanted to make friends, but I didn't think that it would be not easy, but so presentable to me. It, is fantastic. And that's something that I really want to take into each job that I go to. This sort of attitude of, you do spend time with people, but you can see them outside of work. You can spend time with them. You can talk to them. You don't have to talk about clients. You can talk about life. Walking on a Monday morning, how was your weekend? How, what you get up to? And you get personally involved. You build these connections, and it's kind of helped with networking. Again, it's something that I've touched on before, that, you learn these skills, and it kind of links to my first learning goal, where you learn these skills, and, how to network and everything, but you don't realise how important they are. Interpersonal skills are so valuable. You can just have a chat to a client on a Monday. When you walk into a meeting or you're on a conference call, how's your weekend? Get up to much? If they've been travelling, there you go. You've got at least 10 minutes of conversation down pat. And you find out all these little quirks about people. And it makes life so much easier. You're more comfortable with your client. You're more comfortable in the workplace. You can go in and, similar because I don't have my parents around to rant to, I can go in and rant to my colleagues, and it doesn't feel like this sort of jolted, kind of awkward relationship. It just feels really casual. It's really refreshing. And I think that kind of attitude of not everything has to be formal is really important. And it's something that I think all the MDs really want to breed throughout the company, is that, don't take everything so seriously. If you relax and have a good time, you can really have good relationships. I can go back to Melbourne, build new relationships there, and then come back over here, and I've got a group of friends that I've worked with before, and I can chat to them and catch up, and they're friends before they were former colleagues, which is really nice. So yeah, corporate culture, it's fantastic where I am, and that group photo that I've included was a real pivotal moment where we all went to the races together. And it was an interesting experience to see how people tackled betting on horses and their choice in horse. And it really helps bond and form relationships. And I think it was really nice to see people out of the office, out of the city. We're in a different environment, and you get to relax and treat it like you're out with your mates. It was really nice.